Hi everyone, welcome to the Florida Everblades pregame show from Hertz Arena. Alongside Jake Maurice, I'm Ali Vellucci. Today we're talking the final game of this homestand, Florida's power play struggles, and how physicality is playing its part in this series. Jake, not a ton of time to reset coming into this one. What exactly does Florida need to tap into early on tonight?
They need to get themselves a much better start than they did yesterday. They had the fight with Austin Crossley a few minutes into the game that really got the crowd revved up, got some good energy onto their side. But once Orlando got that early goal, Ross Olson's first of his 3 in the night, it really took a lot of energy out of the building, and tonight it's going to be a really good crowd here for Nickelodeon Blues Clues and Unite. So you've got to take advantage of that, get the crowd revved up early, be physical early on, be strong with your offensive chances early on, get the crowd on their feet, especially if you can get an early goal. That would be huge tonight.
Head coach Brad Ralph has talked a lot about the mental toughness that it takes, specifically at this point in the season. At what point did you see them tap into that last night, if at all?
I did see it when they were pushing in the second period, especially. They got themselves a 2 goals. They were looking pretty good. But you also saw Orlando. They really reset themselves well coming into the third period. They need every point they can get, and they really locked things down. Florida, they fought hard all the way to the end, but sometimes it's just not your night. You don't break through. Here tonight, Florida, you've just got to shake that one off and get ready to try and get 2 points here to finish off this homestand strong.
We have to talk the power play struggles that Florida is having currently. Back in 28th place, 0 for 4 on the power play last night. Where do you expect to see some adjustments tonight, if at all?
The biggest adjustment Florida's going to need to make is entering back into the opponent's zone. Yesterday, we talked about it on the pregame show. Orlando, they were going to look to be strong at the blue line on their penalty kill, and they were. And it also showed up at 5-on-5, but it was most evident on the power play for Florida. The Everblades, they were forced to just slow down that half step. That means you can't carry it in with speed and go for a quick rush chance. Sometimes you have to dump it, you have to turn back, you get some offsides that you probably shouldn't have. You're forced to make an extra move at the blue line, which sets everyone else off sync. So it's just that extra bit of speed, that extra cleanliness over the blue line going back into Orlando's zone. If Florida can clean that up, then at the very least, even if they don't score on the power play, they can get themselves into their opponent's zone and actually set up for some chances to get some momentum on their side.
You mentioned Orlando's stellar PK. It really seemed like Florida had some good chances. They were creating some momentum in front of the net, creating some traffic up there, but it really seemed like they just could not buy a goal, especially the last stretch there.
Yeah, part of that was Garrett Sparks. He played really well last night for Orlando. I mean, 40 saves. He was the first star of the game last night for a reason. But part of that is Florida also, they did have some trouble getting into the middle of the ice, and that's where the most dangerous chances are going to come from, or along the side of the net where Florida got both of their goals yesterday in tight, right near Garrett Sparks. You didn't seal up the post properly on either of them, and you're able to bash a greasy goal into the net. So you got to get closer to Sparks or LaFontaine, whoever's going to start tonight for Orlando. You got to make sure that you get into the gut of the ice for good chances from the slot, because these 2 goaltenders that Orlando has, they're too good to get beaten on a floater from the blue line that they see. You get traffic in front, you get guys near the net to go for second opportunities, you get open passes into the middle, and you're going to get some good offense for yourself tonight.
Let's talk physicality. Defenseman Austin Crossley started things off with a bang, fighting Brandon McCara on Orlando. We can always count on him to rough things up a little bit. How much did Florida need that boost early in the first?
It really helped them, especially the crowd loves it, right? They love seeing Crossley handle McCara yesterday. Yeah. It was a one-sided affair in that fight.
Very much so.
And Crossley, that's his 8th fight of the season. It's always something you're going to use to bring the crowd back into it, but also that physicality. It just lets you win board battles, to generate stuff offensively, or to get out of your own zone. Big hits, they can turn the momentum on your bench, even if it doesn't get the crowd to their feet. A nice crunch along the boards can get the guys riled up and get them moving in the right direction. And sometimes playing the puck just isn't the optimal play. It's better to just stop the skater in his tracks, separate them from the puck, and let someone else go and pick it up. So smart use of physicality tonight is going to be big. You got to be smart about it. Florida only took 2 penalties yesterday where they gave Orlando a man advantage, which was great to see. But you don't want to flip that today. And in an effort to be physical and to get the crowd into it, to get your bench into it, you take a stupid penalty, and then Orlando has a chance to strike for a big goal. So be smart with your physicality, but absolutely, Florida can use it like Crossley did yesterday, and like Florida consistently has been using it throughout the year on the boards. Then they put themselves in a really good position to win the game tonight.
Yeah, the rivalry between these 2 teams at this point in the season is very well known. And like you said, Florida has used physicality to their advantage all season long. At what point are they going to need to tap into it tonight if they need to?
I think he needs to tap into it right away. Orlando, they're a big team. They don't mind bringing it early on, and they're going to be looking for, apart from maybe the McCara fight, they'd hopefully have a better performance for themselves than that. They're going to be looking for the same kind of start they had yesterday, where they kept the crowd a little bit calmed down, and then they get the goal before the first TV break, to really suck a lot of energy out of the crowd. And it was a nice goal by Olsen yesterday. Sometimes you just got to tip your cap to that. But it really took a lot out of the crowd. So Florida, you want to be strong, you want to be physical, you want to be coming out of the gate hot here tonight, because Orlando, they're going to be looking to build off of that win yesterday.
Now on to everyone's favorite part of the pregame show, our number one star of the night. Me and Jake are both 0 for 2 last night, so we're not going to talk about that. We're only going to move forward from here on out. I'm going to go Cam Darcy. He was the Plus Player of the Month a couple weeks ago, and he's going to have a banner raised tonight. So I think it's going to give him a little momentum, give him a little rhythm.
Yeah, great to see. He was a plus 15 last night. Led the entire ECHL, went all the way, I think, from a plus 10 to a plus 25. Had a great January, looking to keep it going here.
Yep.
I'm going to go with Nolan Neen tonight. We've talked about physicality a lot.
Yeah.
He's a guy, he doesn't mind dropping the mitts. He doesn't mind laying big hits. He doesn't mind going into fight along the boards against however many Solar Bears are going to be in there. So even if he doesn't show up too much on the score sheet, I'm expecting him to be a big contributor tonight for the Blades.
Last game of this homestand, 3 keys to the game. What do you got?
Well, the first key, we talked about it quite a bit, getting that early energy, having that early jump. It's going to be a big crowd tonight. You want to take advantage of that. With that, you want to get out front first in this game. Orlando has scored first in the last 5 meetings between these two teams, and in all of those games, it's set them up well. Florida's come back in some of them and gotten the win. But regardless, it's going to be much better for you if you get their first goal tonight, especially given the third key of the game is managing multi-goal leads. Yesterday, Orlando's multi-goal lead was what led the way to their win. They got up 2-0 in the first period, and Florida, they could only get themselves within 1, but Orlando was able to calm down and get things going again because they were still out front. They still had the lead, and Florida still had to keep pressuring, which led to Orlando being able to pressure in the other direction against Florida. So the Everblades here tonight, get that first goal and then build off of it. Don't allow Orlando to tie the game back up again, because that's where the Florida ran into trouble last Saturday at Amway Center.
Here we go, Blades fans. Some Saturday night hockey coming up for you. Warm-ups and puck drop up next.